Harvest of Sound, and I have a very special guest today, social media superstar and internet wonder, DJ Rachel. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for popping in and joining us for
Absolutely. Happy
for
to be here.
Q&A. Haven't seen you in a bit.
It's been a bit.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic
A
City.
few months ago when it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's a little bit different now. It's like 20 out.
We're locked in the same weather patterns. Last year, for those that don't know, it was the warmest first week of December on record, and everyone coming to Boston was prepared for blizzards and freezing cold, and it was about 70 degrees.
It was bizarre.
So it's kind of the same today. So we're having some warm weather, so it's a good time to get into the city and take a tour. Maybe find some good pizza places.
Had to hit up a couple.
You might have been known. So your role in everything that's going on is that you were an assistant for the speaker shootout that they had.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got in on Sunday because there was a lot of prep work so that when people showed up Monday, we did a lot of the really mundane, tedious stuff beforehand, so people kind of just show up and we can give them what they want, which is to hear music through different kinds of speakers.
Sure.
So as everything bends stow, we want to be very fair and equitable and consistent in testing. So we did the pink noise testing to make sure that everything was kind of, leveled out, balanced. Everything was 94 dB across the board, so there was no, overachieving. Again, we wanted it really balanced and fair. And if you don't know what pink noise is, it's literally like a TV with no signal going to it.
When TV used to go off the air way back in the day.
So listening to 3 hours of that will kind of drive everybody insane. So we had a team of us willing to kind of jump on that grenade, so to speak, so that we did not have to have everybody else endure that. So we could just have fun listening to good music today.
That had to all have been done. That was all Sunday.
That was all Sunday.
All the pre.
Yeah, so I arrived at like 1, and I want to say we did not finish until about 7 p.m. between setting speakers up, breaking them down, trying to figure out running the cables, figuring the logistics of it. We only had 24, I don't know the technical term, but the lines that run the pink noise through it.
Okay.
We had 60 speakers to connect with only 24 connections.
Okay.
So it was, how do we do this? And not only do we have to connect them, but you have to keep track of what's connected to what, because when you're sending the signal out, you have to know exactly which speaker you're testing. It was just a lot to keep track. So really, the brainchild was Ben and Lou Paris. I just was kind of pick things up, put them down, to help out with that. But they finally came out with a game plan that made more sense. So we actually scrapped the individual 24 connections, and we decided to bring the speakers to the connection rather than the connection to all the speakers. So it made a lot more lifting, but it made a lot more sense to do it that way.
Okay.
So it took a while to kind of develop a game plan, but once they got it, it went pretty quick. So
For sure. And it was appreciated by the guests today that heard music.
Yes.
And we made comment in the other video that they were playing some Van Halen and heard some reggaeton and all kinds of different things coming through the speakers.
Oh, a little bit of everything. Even
much better.
Classical instrumental music, simulating a DJ at a ceremony, where you're playing kind of that vitamin string quartet kind of a vibe. We really wanted to make this as applicable across all types of DJs, genres, applications, big sound, little sound, battery powered, column array, point source, like we delivered this year.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to make it clear that, anyone who heard about it but doesn't know everything, and if you'd already touched upon it, you can let me know. But this was all kind of done out of the generosity of working DJs that just happened to bring, what they personally use and own. So I got a lot of questions from a couple of the social media posts that I put up. Oh, I don't see this brand. I don't see that brand. Why isn't this there? And it's because, well, either people didn't own them, or they didn't show up.
It was a pretty extensive list.
Yeah,
was going
great.
through like 60 different speakers from a good number of manufacturers. So it was a pretty good cross-representation of all the big names of the stuff that we use.
And in my opinion, I feel like all the major brands were represented here. So again, it was just people showing up with whatever they owned, and that was it. So we didn't have manufacturers, like shipping pallets of speakers to us. So we did.
Would have been nice though. Take them home when you're done. That would have been ideal. Perfect.
Yeah. So we did the best we could with what we had. So on that note, what I personally brought, I'm here repping EV to the fullest. So I brought a EV ETX 35P, which is the big boy, the three-way, and then that was over a ETX 18SP sub again. Another big boy.
For those small, intimate backyard gatherings of 25 people when you want to play 3 blocks away.
Yes. Yeah. I've also brought the ETX 10P and Evolve 50, and Evolve 30M, and the Everse.
Yep, the Everse, the new one.
for the battery powered speaker. So that's what I contributed to the speaker shootout.
Oh, that's quite the extensive load. At least one of everything this year, not doubles, except for what you needed to bring for Danny Max, because he was saying you brought him a working rig.
So Evol 50s, he's rocking.
50s. He's got a pair. He's actually got a pair.
Yeah.
So with all those speakers, obviously you have a lot of different setups and looks. Every time every one of you, every time you go on Facebook, there's a post from this one or a link or a video from this one, because apparently she sleeps online and does everything online because there's always a ton of content. I don't think we should bother mentioning how to follow you. It's because you're already everywhere. If you're in the DJ world and you don't know this young lady's name, you're missing out.
Everything is literally just at DJ Rachel Lynch. That's it.
It makes it super easy to find. So
That's
what do you like bringing out? Do you like bringing out the smaller stuff, or do you bring out the cannons and like doing this big school events?
So it's kind of a split answer. Obviously, nobody wants to work harder than they have to, right? No one looks forward to bringing out an 18-inch sub. You know, it's a lot of extra labor and backbreaking work. And, you know, when you reach a certain age, you kind of, you know, prioritize your workload effort. But so my 95% of the time, I'm using Evol 50s for the type of events I do. Really, really small corporate stuff, I might bring out a 30M, but it does feel good. So I usually do 2 or 3 really large events a year, whether it's a car show or like a food truck festival. And man, bringing out those ETX 35Ps over the subs, it's that like, yes, you know, that pump you get from having big sound. Now, would I want to do that every weekend? Absolutely not.
That's what we love, is rolling those 250-pound speakers through the grass, you know, to try to get them to where they have to be set up, because it's never any place normal.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, you're
Especially
in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does feel good to bring out big sounds sometimes. So, you know, I'd be lying saying if I didn't enjoy it, but I definitely don't want to do it every weekend. So, right tool for the job.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. And I will get a chance to speak to you a little bit about the new Everse
8.
8. We had such a hard time trying to search and look up and put those YouTube videos up initially. Managed to get it out there. It's a tough name they picked for that one, but we love Evie here on DJN TV. But eventually we'll just have battery operated everything. We could just show up in the middle of a parking lot with no outlets and have speakers to play and run off power battery boxes and then not have to worry about electrical cords anymore.
So this is going to sound biased, but I swear, and if you don't believe me, you can like ask around or whatever. I'm going to say the Everse was kind of like the shining star today. I feel people were really interested because it's brand new, right? It's Evie's first battery-powered compact full-range speaker that they've dropped. And, you know, we've had the Bose S1 for a while and, you know, the JBL EO1 compact. And there's been a lot of staples, I'll say, in the DJ industry of kind of like this is just what people are using. So, you know, when the Everse dropped, a lot of people were kind of like, really, is it better kind of a thing? So I think today, if I had to say, you know, if there was one speaker that kind of like blew away people just in terms of their expectations, people were really drawn to the Everse. And I swear it's like, of course, because it's your speaker, but...
No, but you put the time in too, because I watched your videos and I know that you did a 12-hour soft test and a 6-hour beating the crap out of it to see how long it would actually last and how true it performed to the specs that the manufacturer gave. And it held pretty true.
Yeah. But having it side by side, it's, to me, it was like the top one. It's a damn good speaker. So if you don't believe me, ask around.
No, I bet that was probably a reason, people knowing that was going to be here for them to come from far and wide to gather today. How's the networking been at the show as far as meeting everybody and seeing who's around?
So coming in here, it was awesome to see some familiar faces. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really bad at networking only because I always get tied into so many like projects and I'm a helper and a doer. So like I literally spent 7 hours listening to Pink Noise yesterday versus out floating around and doing the social thing. Okay. So, you know, I don't want anybody to think that I'm like antisocial or don't have time to just, I'm a helper. Like that's just where I spend my energy. So tonight we have a party, I think starting at, what is it? Like 8 o'clock in a couple minutes, across the street at a bar. So that's where I'm going to go get my social time. Honestly, I haven't done much networking yet just because we've been so busy trying to get this up and running for when everybody showed up that things were just good, you know?
Yeah, this was a little more organized than last time around because I know the one last year came out of nowhere in about 10 days time and came together, and it was a test to see how it would click and see who you could get on board. And, you know.
Well, you know, so in my opinion, I'm going to consider this year one of Harvest and Sound. This is now a conference, right? The location, how much has expanded, the resources, the budget that they had, just you can't even compare it to last year. Last year was just literally like a meetup. It was like literally going to somebody's house, like a large house,
Yep.
and just hanging out with some, pizza, and you just kind of bring whatever in your car, and it was a good time, right? It was fun. It was really low key, but to me, this is year one of Harvest and Sound.
Yeah.
Like just. It's like apples and oranges.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seeing the big stage set up in the main conference room. It was
VSP knocked it out of the park.
Reminiscent of the bigger shows like the Vegas and the Atlantic City, and to have it, separate rooms for separate things, and then you get breakout rooms for seminars that were going on till just a few minutes ago. And there's a list also for tomorrow that unfortunately I don't have with me, but
I do if you want to check it out.
If you're in the area, as I say, day one is done. So the speaker shootout has passed, and a few of the conferences have gone by, but there is a full day of discussions and seminars.
Ben Stowe's going to be talking. Here, I don't mean to be rude. I'm on my phone, but everything is on my phone. So tomorrow's schedule. Day's kicking off at 10 a.m. with Mitch Taylor, 5 steps to solve your sales problem. Then we got Mike Villa with a little bit of branding. Then they're going to open up the exhibit floor. Some of the vendors that are here. Justin, the DJ, is going to be talking at 4 p.m. about how to create perfect social media content. Ben Stowe's going to be on at 5:30 talking about best sound practices for DJs. Then we got Gabriel being a better you, probably something pretty motivational. He's very high energy, fun guy. And then there's a rewind party from 8 until midnight. And then we got a couple things like a panel the last day. 2 other little speakers, and then it kind of winds down around noon on Wednesday. So still a lot of great content left.
Very good.
And I believe there was online access, so if people couldn't physically make it, and if you weren't able to get one of those passes, something to consider next year if you're really far, they are doing the online, I think, streaming content. So
super awesome. Well,
yeah.
It is a pleasure to have you here and speak with you. Thank you for making a little time in between all the partying and the pizza breaks, of course. So,
of course, absolutely, pleasure.
We're still going to find a pizza before it's all said and done. So thank you, DJ Rachel. Appreciate your time, and we'll have a few more interviews coming up for DJ and TV News later this evening, hopefully.